Hi, friends. This is your pal, Scott Garibay, and today we're going to talk about American politics, and we're going to talk about a comment by Marina Hyde from The Rest is Entertainment. And she is a brilliant British commentator on entertainment. But like most entertainment commentators today, she talks about nothing but politics now. Because one, the mask's been ripped off, and Hollywood makes a lot more laws and policy than is made in Washington D.C. by any senator or any congressman. Hollywood is it's let me get this right. It's 80-20. I think Hollywood spends 80% of its time making laws and policy for America, and 20% of it and 15% of its time, no, 5% of its time making entertainment, and I would say 15% of its time making instructions for Americans who are desiring to be told what to do. There you go, right? But Marina Hyde is a brilliant commentator, super liberal, and actually I shouldn't say super liberal. She's just European. She's just European, right? What does it mean to be European? Be super liberal. Like, they can't even spell conservative in Europe. They don't have any conservatives in Europe. Their most right-wing conservative would be considered a mild liberal here. They're not conservative. So she is extremely liberal, but she's really not liberal. She's just European, right? But she is brilliant, and I've been listening to Richard Osman and Marina Hyde for a while. I cannot recommend their shows highly enough. It's called The Rest is Entertainment, and they just commentate on entertainment, and they're absolutely brilliant. And I'd say often 25 or 33% of their show is just British stuff, which I don't want to hear any of that. But they're so smart, it's worth the listen, right? So check them out. But she was talking about what else? American King Donald Trump. Nobody has anything to say in the world right now except talk about Donald Trump. And what's wild is it's like they didn't even see him coming, right? Like he determined the pattern in his first 4 years. He placed a nose in the ring of the media, and then he just yanks that ring wherever he wants the media to look, right? He's been doing it. He did it through the entirety of his first 4 years, and now he's doing it again, right? And so these are British commentators, and all they can talk about is Trump, right? It's incredible. But here's what she said. She said, so she's talking about his 100% tariff on foreign films, on foreign films, 100% tariff on foreign films. If you shoot your movie in a foreign country, he's going to put 100% tariff on it. I'm all for this. I think this is great. Grace Randolph covered this and said she thinks this is a really good idea, and that this will protect jobs in America. I totally agree with her. Right now, of course, Marina Hyde is British, right? And they just built a whole bunch of studios over there. So she was complaining ad nauseum about this, right? And then she said, oh, I know he's this great genius businessman. And then she looked at Richard Osman, and they smiled together. And she was like, I'm using sarcasm. Are you? Right? And this is the point. I think and I get this in my comments all the time. People roll up here and they spout off sarcasm, right? Now, first of all, if you're putting sarcasm if you put sarcasm in the comments, you are a ridiculous fool, and everyone should laugh at you, because it's been known for 20 years sarcasm doesn't play on the internet. We're in an upside down world. Sarcasm was hard to sell 10 years ago when things were simple, right? Nothing's simple now. Sarcasm doesn't play anywhere at this point. And that's exactly my point with what Marina Hyde was saying. She's like, I know he's this great business genius, right? And then looks at Richard Osman and you're like, wait, back up, right? You're saying he's not, right? And this is the point, right? We've been told since 2016 that he's an idiot doofus, right? they, and Europeans do this, and American mainstream press do this, and academics do this. They're like, oh, I assure you, Donald Trump is a idiot doofus. He's not good at business. He's not a billionaire. He doesn't have money. He can't outmaneuver anyone. Well, why did he beat you twice? Why was he able to win election and then win and then he did lose election, okay, but politics are hard, right? But then he came right back. And when he came back, he hit 20 times harder than he hit the first time, right? He did more in his first 100 days than he did in his first 4 years, right? He's completely redefined American politics for the next half a millennia. Like, are you kidding me? Like, you can't do this anymore, right? You can't say, oh, I know he's supposed to be this great business genius. He is a freaking great business genius, okay? Just follow it through, right? First of all, how was he trained? Well, we know from Sebastian Stan how he was trained. Go watch The Apprentice, okay? He is the first Republican king to be trained for charisma and dynamism by an LGBTQ titan. This is why he is so incredibly different and so effective, right? You get all these, you get Republicans with great ideas, but they can't sell them to anybody because they got no flair, right? You take a Republican genius and you put him through boot camp with an LGBTQ titan. You can't keep up with that. You can't keep up with, with a Republican who is trained by someone who could have easily, transitioned onto RuPaul's drag race, right? Like, that is an unusual person. He there's never been anything like him, right? And then other people were like, oh, well, you know what? He had a bunch of casinos and he didn't make any money. He wasn't really a billionaire. You know what? And this is Marina Hyde. She's like, oh, she was, and she didn't say this, but there were tons of people who were like, oh, he's not a billionaire. He's not really that rich. He really doesn't know what he's doing. He is now, and you made him. You made him super rich. You made him a multi-billionaire. If there was any ever question if Trump was a billionaire, he certainly is now. And guess who made him a billionaire? Every Democrat in America, right? Because they wouldn't stop covering him with their mainstream media. MSNBC can't shut up about him, right? Like, and the reality is they have handed him all the keys to the castle, right? And so this is my point, is they continue to mock him and assure everybody that he's nothing to worry about, that he's just a doofus idiot who is not good at business. But he's outmaneuvered them at every single turn. He slipped the noose 20 times, in court, right? They've had him on a million different things. He's easily been able to outmaneuver them every single time, right? And now he's back. He had a 4-year hiatus, but he's back and he's hitting 50 times harder than he ever did, right? And so this is my point. Put some respect on the name. Marina Hyde is just this, she's not super liberal. She's just a European. That means super liberal, right? And so she says that with sarcasm, but guess what? She's making him a super genius businessman by not being able to ignore him, by covering him exactly the way he manipulated her to do. She is making him a super genius businessman, right? Because he now has the power to make moves that no other wealthy person is ever able to do, right? And not only has he made himself a billionaire, he's made everybody in his family a billionaire. And he has started a dynasty. So when you think you're going to land sarcasm on him by saying he's a super genius businessman, like, that's something to laugh at, you're the fool who needs to be laughed at, right? And Marina Hyde is a very smart lady. The reason she did this is there's this knee-jerk reaction. You hit the knee of a European, and they say the word fascist and Trump, done, right? It's lazy. It's intellectually lazy, right? And she needs to stop, because she needs to stop and say, okay, listen, if he wasn't a billionaire before, I have certainly made him a billionaire now, right? And the reality is, you could say, oh, it's a bad idea for him to start up a crypto, right? But he's the first U.S. president ever to start his own crypto coin. That thing could be worth a fortune, right? And even if it goes flat, it doesn't matter. He's got a million irons in the fire, and he set his family up for dynasty, right? So my point is, if somebody's outperforming you, if somebody's outmaneuvering you at every possible turn, right? And you can't even make traction against them, maybe seal your flapping maw and put some respect on the name when you say it, right? I really like Marina Hyde, but this was an outrageously ridiculous, foolish statement. And basically, you don't get to mock somebody until you can do more than them. That's the point. That's the point of this, right? You don't get to mock anyone, right? If they are literally achieving what you're declaring they're not while you're speaking it. And if your own words are making it a reality, right? And I think, and it's just shocking to me that somebody as smart as Marina Hyde couldn't see this, couldn't see how flatly this lands, right? It's so ridiculous at this point to just listen to people. Oh yeah, he's just an idiot doofus. Doesn't know what doesn't know what he's doing. He's outmaneuvering your people at every single turn, and you have no possibility of beating him until you acknowledge him. And you got 4 years, right? Every single word you just heard is my humble opinion. The important part is when I get to hear your humble opinion, when you get in the comments and send your traffic. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a fetch millennium.